What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 2 of Diego Maradona in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are good. If you didn't see part 1, go check it out. It was uploaded 4 or 5 days ago now, and today we are going to be continuing on with Diego's career. We are now in 2026. We've gone forward 3 years since the end of last episode. Before we do go any further, just want to make you guys aware that I have a new series starting on the channel tomorrow. It's with a Northern Irish side called Larne. I'm going to plop in a little teaser trailer now, which will also be going up on the channel as a separate video, but for those of you who might have missed it, take a look at this. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this series coming your way starting tomorrow. So anyway, let's talk about Diego. I know that you guys didn't come for that, but I feel like it's worth mentioning, showing you what we've got planned. And well, Diego here is going to the World Cup with Argentina this summer. I checked their group because I was curious to see how they're doing. They are going to be in Group C alongside Qatar and Scotland. You'd expect them to get out the group stage. Of course, playing in the expanded World Cup in the future, you can see, look at the Argentina national side, he is one of their key players, and he's also vice-captain. I mean, when you look at him now, he really is one of the world's best. I know when I started this video, kind of last time out with part 1, lots of people were like, Jack, you've not made him good enough. I set him up as a 16-year-old. I mean, you can see how good he's become here. He's one of the best players in the game. Still playing for Monaco, which is interesting to see. You can see he's consistently played over the last 3 years, and he has clocked in with a lot of goals. 21 in 23, 24, 16, and then 17. What has he won, though, with Monaco? That's what we really care about, isn't it? Let's have a look in terms of competitions then. Since we were last here, where did they win the Coupe de la Ligue? I think they had won it. They've won it once since then. And that is it. Wow, okay, so Monaco not doing so great in Ligue 1 over the last couple of years. You can see Paris Saint-Germain just too strong, unfortunately, for Monaco. They finished second, which isn't bad, but obviously that's not exactly where they want to be. I assume last season they finished second as well. If we take a look at it here, yeah, they did. So a couple of second place finishes for Monaco, a tad bit disappointing. In terms of individual awards, he's been named in the team of the season. Has he been named in it every season? So he's been named in it at centre mid last year, or rather this year. Last year he was named there, and the year before he was named there, of course. He's got Pellegrini in his kind of Monaco striker teammate who's kind of been taking the limelight away from him almost, but they're sharing the spoils. It's worth noting Neymar is also kind of randomly shifted into centre midfield in this. Looking at it, you can see he's not even that comfortable playing centre midfield. I guess it's just a case of in Liga, for whatever reason, this is the formation that they have to have the team of the year fit in, and as a result they kind of bend players around to make it work. But yeah, he's won a fair few awards there. In terms of landmarks, there's nothing really of massive note over the last 3 years, which is perhaps a tad bit of a surprise. Not even doing that well in cup competitions, Monaco. He was Star of the Season runner-up in Ligue 1. You can see he won it in 23-24, which was the first and only time he's won it during his time here. That was the season where he scored 21 goals and got a 7.64 average rating. Somehow he finished ahead of Pellegrini, who got an 8.25 and got 33 goals. I'm not sure how that works out. I don't know how the voting is counted up, but fair enough, Diego. You did deserve that award, allegedly. In terms of his injury history, has he had that many injuries as of late? Lots of little injuries, but nothing too severe. A groin strain in 2024 might be why he had slightly fewer appearances in the middle of the season since we were last here. But anyway, let's go forward again. We're going to be interested to see if he sticks out the club. He has still got 4 years left on his contract. So you know what, we'll go forward a further 4 years. He will be 28 then, entering his prime, and it'll be interesting to see what he's up to. Is he still going to be at Monaco? Leave your prediction down in the comments, and well, let's go forward and find out. Okay guys, the year is 2030, but before we go into what's been happening in the here and now, just a quick look at that World Cup campaign that we talked about before. You can see Argentina got through their group fairly convincingly. They won 7-0 against Qatar. They did actually draw against Scotland, but that was good enough. And then in their kind of 2 knockout rounds, they beat Ghana, they beat the Republic of Ireland before losing in the quarterfinals to Germany. A tad bit disappointing. Maradona did get 1 or 2 goals, but not a whole host of them. Considering he was playing in the World Cup. But in terms of his international record, 75 caps, 39 goals. That is not too shabby. He is still at Monaco, which is interesting to note. He's not left the nest just yet. And in fact, he signed a 2-year contract extension, which is interesting. £325,000 a week. In terms of his stats with Monaco, he's just had a 22-goal season, of course. We've gone forward 4 years here. You can see he had 2 seasons where he was a little bit off the pace in terms of his overall stats, although he did play fewer games. But in the last 2 seasons, he has gone pretty ham. I feel like I'm being overcritical of him, but you've got to consider how good he is. Which, if we just look at the polygon, you can see how good he is. His physicals and his speed look like they might have just dropped off a little since we were last here. If we look at his injuries, so he had some major injuries as of late. He tore a calf muscle 4 years ago, then had a hip injury. So he has had a few injuries where he's been out for a fair few months, and he has also had a hamstring strain. So over the last 4 years, he has probably missed the best part of half a season in that time. So we're talking about, well, an eighth of the time out, roughly, which is a fair whack, to be fair. But you can see, in terms of his overall stats, they've been solid. What has he done in terms of milestones, though? This is what really matters, doesn't it? So if we look at landmarks here, he won the Sudamericano Copa America with Argentina in 2028. That is a massive achievement. He hasn't won Ligue 1 since, but they did win Monaco the Trophy des Champions in 2028. I had far too much fun pronouncing that there. If we just look at them, you can see over the last few years they finished second repeatedly, and then they finished fourth last season. Where have they finished this year? They can't have finished lower than fourth again, surely. It looks like they have finished second, since I can read it says there at the top. So they bounced back a little bit, only 2 points off PSG as well. Pellegrini has been absolutely crazy on this save. I mean, look at those stats. You've got to think that Maradona's contributing a lot there in really enabling Pietro here to perform. But he is kind of putting Maradona to shame with just how well he's doing. Obviously, they probably play off the back of each other quite nicely. Maradona is club captain. I did also notice for Argentina, he's captain and key player for them. In terms of the world rankings, they are up to 4th, Argentina, and it is another World Cup year. Can we see who they've got in their World Cup group? They've got Costa Rica and Denmark, so you'd expect to see them get out that group. In the Confederations Cup, they lost in penalties in the final. Maradona did score in that game. In their qualifying campaign, they did that all very, very convincingly. You can see in the Copa Americana, or Copa America final, Diego Maradona did get a goal in a 2-1 win over Brazil. I'm sure he's absolutely loving that. Doesn't look like he scored too many earlier on in the competition. I must admit, 39 goals in 75 is a tad bit underwhelming, but I feel like he is playing a bit more of a playmaking role in the side. You can see he's now more natural at centre mid rather than striker. It seems like the AI wanted him to play a slightly deeper role despite being natural at striker and centre attacking mid. You can see 160 goals in 285 appearances is still an absolutely crazy return, really, for a player playing at a top European league. In terms of milestone and awards, has he won anything major of note? He won the Confederations Cup's Best Player runner-up, and he also got 3rd in the top goal-scoring charts. I noticed that we didn't really check on the Ballon d'Or or the Golden Shoe or anything like that. So if we just look at it here, in terms of the Golden Shoe Award in Europe, which is the most prolific striker, unfortunately, it seems like every year he's probably become runner-up to Pietro Pellegrini, who has just been absolutely nutty. Interesting to see Meunier up there for Hertha Berlin. That's not a player I would have expected to be up there. In terms of best player in Europe, has he won any of these awards? Nope. Again, he's been in a bit in the shadow, although Harry Kane appearing a number of times for Spurs, which is interesting. If we just look at the World and the World Awards, the Ballon d'Or, no. Pellegrini's just been winning it a load. Salah won it 3 years in a row for Real Madrid. That upsets me a little as a Liverpool fan. If we just look, you can see Lautaro Martinez, who of course is an Argentine compatriot of Maradona. He's been very, very solid for them for a number of years. It looks like he won the Ballon d'Or a few years ago. In terms of men's best player, nope, he's not there. Interesting to see Savic winning it for Manchester United. Also, a Regen, I assume, winning it for Real Madrid. Yeah, you can see here, he's a pretty good striker, to be fair, is Anton Kuligin, although he's not what we're really looking at here today. Was there any other world things worth looking at? I guess the team of the year is worth a look at. Does he appear in it? In the most recent year, is he on the bench or anything? He is on the bench. He got 22 goals in 54 games, a crazy average rating too. In previous years, as he appeared on it, it might be easier to sort by team here and just look for Monaco. Pellegrini got in it in 2028. Pellegrini got in it again. I mean, actually, he's not got in it that many times. He got in it in 2025 and 2024. In terms of previous years before that, doesn't look like he's featured all that often. If we look at the all seasons, is he there? He's not, interestingly enough, although Bonucci's there playing for Monaco, which is a little odd. But no, he's not in the FIFA Pro kind of Team of the Year, which is a little bit surprising, to be honest. That was not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to be a regular name in this list. I'm now desperately searching for a way to get back to his profile, clicking through here. So, a little bit underwhelming in some regards in terms of award winning. You know, he's not done what Pele did, where it felt like he was single-handedly carrying the team at times, although he did make the move to PSG, of course. In our FM save for Pele, which if you haven't seen, obviously go check it out, he moved to the Premier League in the next couple of years. It may have even been around the age of 26, if I think about it. So it could be interesting to see if Diego Maradona follows in his footsteps. And, well, there is only one way to find out, guys. We are going to go forward a further 2 years. It's going to be getting towards the end of his contract. Will he still be in France? Let's find out. Okay, guys, so we've gone forward a further 2 years to 2032. Maradona's contract is up at the end of the year. It's not been renewed yet, no. If we just look here at the contract status, it is expiring in a matter of days, which is a little bit surprising, to be honest. As you can see, he's taken up a fair whack of their wage budget. It looks like they might be letting him go. You can see he had a 5% yearly wage rise, which has kind of spiralled somewhat out of control as far as Monaco are concerned. And, well, if we just look at their milestone and competitions, they're not doing a whole lot, which might explain why they've decided to move him on. You can see Argentina World Cup and Confederations Cup runners-up. Definitely worth mentioning that first and foremost. They played in the final and they lost on penalties to Holland. Unfortunately, I can't view that game because it was 2 years ago now. But yeah, unfortunately for Argentina, they could not win the World Cup. They got blooming close though, which, I mean, you have to give them some credit too. If we just look here, you can see they knocked out France, they knocked out Italy, they knocked out China. It was actually down to Dario Torres, it seems like, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for them. He is a regen striker playing for Man City who went absolutely ham. You can see Maradona did chip in with a few goals here and there, including a hat-trick against Costa Rica in the first half, to be fair to him. But yeah, unfortunately, in the final of that World Cup, they could not win. In fact, you can see here, it looks like he was not even on the pitch, Maradona, to take a penalty. In the end, it was Raymond Mulder for the Netherlands who got the crucial winner. So yeah, pretty disappointing there, I guess, for Diego. If we just look at his other achievements, actually worth noting here, he is club captain now as well as key player. I say club captain, nation captain, I guess we should say. Argentina did peak at second in the world rankings. They have now dropped down to third since then. If we just look at the rest of his career stats, or rather milestones here, you can see runners-up in the Trophy des Champions on 2 occasions, won the Coupe de France once in 2031. But yeah, again, just a real lack of success in Ligue 1, it seems like, for Monaco. I guess it's just the PSG show again, if I had to hazard a guess. Indeed it is. You can see actually Monaco finished third this most recent season. PSG only slipping up twice all season. Pretty nutty how well they've done. Prior to this year, where they finished third, they finished second last year. Worth noting, I can't see Pellegrini at the club anymore. Did they sell him? Let's take a look. Yeah, they did. They sold him for 84 million to Real Madrid, and also they sold Robson Luiz to Manchester United for 125 million. That is an absolutely nutty sum of money for a 22-year-old. But yeah, what a centre-back he is, to be fair to him. Not the best ball player, but if you just wanted a player who's going to defend, he's your man. I'm curious, have Monaco lost their sugar daddy? Because they are selling all their big players, and I can only see it being a struggle for them ongoing. It doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, you can see here, Dimitri Rybolov, I'm not going to try and say that last name, has scaled down his funding. So that probably explains a fair bit, I guess, as to what's happening with the club right now. Diego Maradona, just by miles, the highest earner. They probably can't justify keeping his wages on. He is 30 now. So it's going to be interesting to see where he might end up next. You can see if we just look at his overall stats for the last couple of years, over the last 2 seasons since we were last here. 22 goals in this most recent season, 14 the year before that. Some really, really impressive average ratings during his last 10 years here at Monaco, but it looks like it might be coming to a close unless they're going to offer him a deal late on. You can see he is edging very close to 100 caps now as well, with 46 goals to his name. A pretty impressive return for Diego here. But anyway, that is going to wrap up today's episode from me, I think. I think next episode will go forward to the end of his career. Leave a prediction now. Where's he going to end up next? Is he going to stay at Monaco? Is he going to sign a new deal elsewhere? Let's get some predictions going. If anyone's right, I'll feature your comment next video. And, well, that is going to wrap up things from me today, I do think. As I said, keep an eye out for the LAN series starting tomorrow on the channel. I'm hoping that you guys are going to enjoy it. If you've enjoyed this video, do leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.